Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are going on a seriously wild ride. We're mapping out this bizarrely connected journey that stretches from a mysterious graveyard of giants hidden at the absolute bottom of the ocean all the way to the AI-designed medicines currently sitting inside your local pharmacy. It's an exploration of how deciphering the ancient past is directly fueling our cutting-edge future. Let's get right into it.
So, let me ask you, what exactly lies hidden in the Diamantina Zone? Picture this. You're far beneath the ocean's surface, in this crushing, freezing darkness, where light literally cannot reach. Recently, scientists conducting deep submarine dives down there stumbled upon something absolutely massive.
And the answer is honestly something out of a myth. As the submarine's headlights cut through the dark, they illuminated a 5.3 million-year-old whale necropolis, a vast, ancient graveyard of giants perfectly preserved in the depths. It's this breathtaking archaeological site hidden at the bottom of the world, offering us an entirely undisturbed window right into the biological history of our oceans.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll start at this deep-sea whale necropolis, then trace some ancient ocean discoveries, surface a bit to look at turning plants into chemicals, and finally, we'll dive into science for human health. Starting off with Section 1, Deep-Sea Whale Necropolis. We'll see how these submarine dives reveal incredibly complex deep-sea ecosystems.
You know, when a massive whale finally dies and falls to the seafloor, it doesn't just disappear. It actually becomes a necropolis. Think of it like a sudden, bustling city popping up out of nowhere. This enormous carcass first attracts giant scavengers, then specialized worms, and finally these dense mats of sulfur-loving bacteria. So this single localized event ends up sustaining a vibrant metropolis for decades, maybe even centuries, in a place where food is otherwise incredibly scarce.
And this brilliantly illustrates the scale we're dealing with, 5.3 million. These specific remains have been sitting down there on the Diamantina Zone for 5.3 million years. To put that into perspective, these gigantic bones have been quietly resting in the dark since long before human ancestors ever walked the Earth, just waiting to be discovered. It's an absolutely pristine record of ancient marine life. So what do we actually learn from all this? Well, biologists are acting like deep-sea detectives down there. They're deciphering histories from baleen, analyzing ancient whiskers, and studying deep-sea tusks. Because these specific body parts grow continuously over an animal's life, they capture chemical signatures of the ocean year by year. By analyzing the isotopes locked inside them, scientists can basically read these biological hard drives to reconstruct ancient climate shifts, pinpoint changes in diet, and even trace the exact migration routes these massive creatures took across prehistoric oceans. It's fascinating. Let's move to Section 2, Ancient Ocean Discoveries, and see how we're tracing life's history across the ancient world. When we map all this out, the timeline shows how organisms continuously leave their mark. Over 500 million years ago, the very earliest signs of vision evolved, completely changing how predators tracked prey. And we actually see this in erratic hunting trails immortalized in ancient seafloor tracks. Fast forward to 5.3 million years ago, our whale necropolis forms in the abyss. Jump to the Pleistocene epoch, 2.58 million years ago, where ancient ground squirrels furiously feasted on terrestrial carcasses. And then, a literal blink of an eye ago, just 2,000 years, vast networks of Roman roads were engineered, forever altering human migration. From ocean tracks driven by newly evolved eyesight to paved stone roads, we are looking at the fossilized architecture of survival. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how researchers describe those ancient carcass-feasting ground squirrels I just mentioned. They actually call them the zombies of the Pleistocene. I mean, talk about a vivid picture, right? It really shows just how fierce and opportunistic survival was back then, even for the tiniest creatures scurrying across the prehistoric landscape. But it's not just the animals. Geology and climate constantly shape these ecosystems too. On one hand, you have deep-sea oases. These actually form when rocks fall from melting icebergs, eventually providing hard surfaces that host vibrant biodiversity on an otherwise muddy seafloor. But then, just nearby, we find stuff like the cold blob. This is stark evidence of a troubling modern ocean climate trend driven by shifting currents and accelerated ice melt. It really highlights the fragile balance of our oceans, where even a slight temperature shift dictates exactly where life flourishes or where it fails completely.
All right, let's head up to the surface for Section 3, Turning Plants into Chemicals. We're looking at re-engineering nature for a modern world.
So the crucial point here is how scientists are achieving this through an incredible new pipeline. Step 1, they harvest raw plant material. Think agricultural waste or fast-growing biomass.
Step 2, they process it through these cutting-edge hybrid refineries. This breaks down complex plant sugars using specialized microbes and enzymatic reactions, completely bypassing the need for fossil fuels. Which leads to step 3, producing industrially important chemical building blocks, like the durable nylon we use in our clothes, or the plastics for medical devices. Instead of pumping finite oil out of the ground, we're literally using biological processes to grow the materials of modern manufacturing. It's a real game changer for sustainable chemistry.
And to actually fuel these refineries, biology is stepping up in a big way. Scientists are deciphering a genus-wide plant pangenome. Basically, that means looking at the entire set of genes from all strains of a plant species, not just a single plant. This massive genetic map reveals hidden evolutionary traits for things like drought resistance, rapid growth, and higher chemical yields. Ultimately, it could inform next-generation crop design, allowing us to custom-build plants optimized exactly for these industrial applications.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Science for Human Health. Discoveries driving human flourishing.
It's amazing how all these incredibly diverse fields ultimately converge right back on our daily lives. In economics, solid data proves that direct financial payments to parents actually improve babies' birth weights, showing us that socioeconomic interventions are profound healthcare measures. Over in tech, artificial intelligence is being used to analyze complex molecular structures at lightning speed, literally turning failed drugs into vital new medicines. And back in the ocean, biologists are decoding the lifespan-extending secrets of centuries-old whales, searching their resilient DNA to help us understand human longevity. We've brought the quest for health right back to the deep sea where we started.
From millions of years of history hidden in a deep-sea graveyard to AI-designed medicines, science continuously proves that the past is absolutely the key to our future. Every single organism, every fossilized bone, and every strand of ancient DNA holds blueprints we are only just beginning to understand. So, I'll leave you with this. What other ancient secrets are waiting in the dark to change our modern world? Thank you so much for exploring with me today.